Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Tuesday evening / Tuesday night video, and it's Taco Tuesday! You gotta love it. And by the way, Taco Cat, spelled backwards, is Taco Cat. Not Otaku, but Taco Cat. But it is what it is. So happy Tuesday everybody, December the 9th, 2025. 2 weeks away from Christmas, and 3 weeks away from the end of the year. So, holiday season fast approaching once again. We're in the holiday season, but Christmas and New Year's fast approaching. So, hopefully you guys and girls are going to get those Christmas gifts this weekend, and pretty much next weekend, what's after next weekend, is gonna be busy! Busy at the retail stores or wherever you're going to get your stuff. If you're getting stuff from Amazon, it might be late. Unless you have, like, Prime, you might get it the next day. But if you're ordering online, you better start ordering now to get it to your destination. Hopefully by Christmas, or if it's coming late, maybe by the end of the year. But we see what's going to happen with that. I already got this already. I have one hoping to order by the end of this week, and that should be coming by my pretty much by my birthday and by Christmas. So get an early birthday present. I'm getting another one. Rosa ordered something for me. It's supposed to come next weekend, hopefully. We don't know, depending on You know how Amazon is. They tell you, oh, it's going to come next week, and then it comes like 2 days later. Because it's delayed. So, we got that, but I got a nice little gift for myself, and I got something nice for the missus. Not down, well, one of them is down there, but, I got a nice little thing for Rosa, too. But I'm not going to tell you! But that's pretty much it. So hopefully you're going out this weekend or next weekend to your local malls or wherever you go to get your Christmas gifts. And like I said, if you're getting it online, get it quickly, because you may or may not be able to get it by Christmas time. Might be after Christmas. And then we got the after Christmas sales. You can get some stuff on, pretty much 75% off. It's a good time after that. We move on with that. But thank you all for watching right here on your Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling Channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video. Hit that subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. You know what to do with it. Slap it like it's you. Slap it like it's a freaking bass guitar or your what, and just smack the crap out of it. But smack the hell out of that bell, so on all notifications you don't miss the next one. Because if you missed anything, you are gonna get slapped in the face. Because you're SOL. You better know what that means. And if not, you're gonna get slapped even more. Slap-a-palooza. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get smacked like a little bitty biatch. That's what it is. So please hit that bell, or don't get slapped. Pretty much that. All right. And if you're new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. There's no carbonated in there. You know why? Because I actually have the evidence this time, so. It's an actual bottle of Pepsi. I don't have any alcohol in the house. No more. That was done, like, months, not even months, I should say a month ago. Might get more by the end of the year, but. Because like I said, I don't drink on my shows. I don't. You can't tell this is anything's mixed in here. You can't tell. You cannot tell. If you think so, you're loopy. You're a loon. You're a nut job. You're a dumb fuck. Because I don't drink on my show. He's to you, though. So we have that. But whatever you're drinking when you do watch my show, because you know you do, religiously, no wonder you're so fucked up. And then you watch my show, you watch my video for a little while, then when I start talking about wrestling, you're like, oh, I don't want to watch it anymore. Pussy. But, you know, at least it equals a view. Thank you, asshole. So whether you watch for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, the entire video, thank you for the view. You say my videos are boring, but why are you watching it for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes? And then you're like, oh, my brain hurts. You have no brain. How could it hurt? So I digress on that. But thank you for watching anyway. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday. So, by the way, Taco Cat spelled backwards is Taco Cat. So on this beautiful Taco Tuesday, it is time. We got NXT coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a great show. But we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. Not later, but tomorrow. But right now, everything else that is happening right now is happening right now. What happened to then? You, sir, you missed it. But when will it be soon? Well, when will it be now? Soon. I know I fucked that line up, but soon. It will be now, soon. Soon, sir. Soon. Oh, no, when? If you don't understand Spaceballs, we're not friends. That's, pretty much all I gotta say about that. Alright, but right now, on this beautiful Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025, on the Peter Joseph channel, I'm your worst nightmare come true, Peter Joseph. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, the sport of professional wrestling, music, movies, sports, and anything else I want to talk about. And if you like it, great. You don't, well, get out. Go to your boring channel and, just go there. Go there and sit in the corner. And if you don't like it, tough shit. You got me move on with that. And if you're a Met fan today, you are pretty damn pissed. Edwin Diaz goes to the fucking Dodgers. 3 years, I think 3 years, $69 million. Ugh. So now, the Mets who signed Devin Williams from the Yankees, and he wasn't great on the Yankees, so you think he's going to be great on the Mets? Probably not. So, Cousin David Stearns, the idiot fucking GM that we have, just like, oh, we're going to get rid of Nimmo, we got rid of Diaz, pretty much about to get rid of Pete Alonso. The Mets are going to look way different next year, and they're probably going to suck. And I'm saying this as a longtime Met fan. That rotation looks like shit right now. I mean, if we keep McLean, we keep Jonah Tong, you know, I don't know about Senga because, you know, he's a freaking injury-prone piece of shit. I think we keep Peterson. I think we got a good 1 through 4, and then we just got to add a guy. Who's that? I don't know. Trevor McGill? No. He's injury-prone too. Get him out. Get these garbage people out. McNeil probably won't be back as a Met. Who's going to play first? Don't know. Who's on first? Who? What do you mean who? You just told me who. Remember who's on first? That whole skit was funny as hell. So, okay, so, Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know on third. But who's on first? I just told you. Who? What do you mean who? Tell me who! Who? Smack you around. Who? What's his name? No, that's the guy on second. What's on second? But who's on first? Ah! Abbott and Costello, greatest people ever. But I digress. Yeah, so I don't know who's going to play first this year for the Mets. It might be Vientos, and I don't trust him. And they were thinking about getting Kyle Schwarber. Nope. He stayed with the Filthies for 5 years, $150 million. So, I don't know if the Mets are going to get Bellinger. They're going to get Tatis. Who knows? Who knows? I think the winter meetings end tomorrow. I think. Tomorrow or Friday, so. But Pete Alonso was at the winter meetings to talk to people, and one of the teams is Boston. But looks like Big Pete with a big meaty stick gonna take his stick and probably go up north to Boston or go somewhere else. Then again, if Uncle Dave had a freaking, big paycheck, well, not paycheck, it's like, a big purse, like Cousin Stevie does, like Uncle Stevie, the Mets would be going out and going after like Bellinger. I really don't want them to get all these Japanese guys. I mean, like Imai, whatever the fuck his name is. Just get a team that can actually compete. Because I think a lot of Met fans today on sports radio are pissed. They were pissed. I don't blame them either. I think one caller said the Mets are going to be a rebuilding team in 2026. And it sucks when you have two big stars in Lindor and Juan Soto. I think Soto's like, yeah, why did I sign with this team for 13, 15 years? Just stay with the Yanks, right? Probably, And I'm saying this as a Met fan. I'm not saying this feels like, oh, it's turning to the Yankees. No, never. But Soto had a great year last year, but the team just stunk. They just, ugh. And then next year, I don't know. If they're going to put out a garbage team, I don't even see them getting 80, 85 wins at all. So, we'll have to see what happens in pretty much this month and next month before we even get to spring training. And what the Mets put out on opening day in March, at the end of March. I don't like it. I do not like it. At all. So, Mets get somebody big, huge, then I'll think about it. But right now, don't look good. Even with Soto and Lindor. Gonna use the baby Mets from, the Cyclones and, the minor league Mets, basically. You think that's gonna help? Probably not. It seems like the fucking Dodgers, where are they getting this money from? Where are they getting this money? They have to be way over the salary cap. Well, wait, there isn't any. Why do you think the Dodgers have a super mega duper dynasty team? They have Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, now they got Diaz as a closer. Jeez. Mookie Betts and company. Come on now. The rotation is just epic. Out of the gourd. So, it looks like the Dodgers might go for a three-peat. At this point, I'm picking the Dodgers to go to the World Series. Will they three-peat? I don't know. Depends what the American League does. Because the Yankees don't look good either. That's not. Alright, enough about baseball. We can talk about baseball when baseball comes up. And that's pretty much it. Alright, before we get to NXT, it is time for your late, so far out of date, AEW Dynamite and Collision reviews. for last week. So we'll get to Dynamite. We saw with Dynamite December the 3rd, 2025, from the Fishers Event Center in Fishers, Indiana. And, week 2 of the Continental Classic. We're getting closer and closer to Winter's Coming, which is this Wednesday night on the program. In from Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. And then they go to Wales for a week. They come back to the Hammerstein Ballroom for Christmas Eve Dynamite and Christmas Collision. I will be at Christmas Collision because I'm taping it on the 21st. I wanted to go to the Dynamite show, but I got a concert that night, so can't go. But it's not even in the immediate area, not even near the Hammerstein. It's way downtown Manhattan. So can't go. I'm not gonna just run. It's an early concert. I'm gonna run all the way to the Hammerstein. Right? Can't do it if I'm working, so I gotta work that night too. So I gotta set up and I gotta do a lot of shit. But it's Christmas time, so gotta do the Christmas show and all that other good stuff for my friends and everything. And yes, I do have friends. You can't prove that, so it is what it is. But we got that coming up, the Hammerstein Ballroom shows, 24th and 25th. Then, live on New Year's Eve, we're gonna pretty much drop that ball with AEW New Year's Smash. And then, January the 3rd of 2026, live Collision. So I think it's New Year's Smash Part 2. Well, I don't know if they're going to call it just that or just call it Collision on January the 3rd, 2026. And then later that night, we're going to stay up and watch Wrestle Kingdom 20. January 3rd going into January 4th. So, of course, when we hit midnight on January the 3rd, which will be the 4th, that'll be, we're going to stay up a couple more hours. Like 3 a.m. on January the 4th morning, and then we're watching 4 or 5 hours of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's great. And that's a Sunday. So we're a couple weeks away from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom. And the start of the year, and we all know Wrestle Kingdom is the #1 pay-per-view going into, starting the year off. We start off with a bang! Pretty much. Okada and Tanahashi, mwah. Can't wait for that. Takeshita and Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight and Global title. We're gonna women's title match. Oh, I can't wait for that one. But we'll talk about that later. But anyway, right now let's talk about Collision. Not Collision. We'll talk about Collision in a minute. Let's get to Dynamite. And our commentary team, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, Tony Baloney Schiavone, and Brian Fagelson, commentators, and Danielson, nice to his teeth, son. Yes! And we get that. Alright, like I said, week 2 of the Continental Classic. And let's get into it. Alright, so we start off with Tony Baloney Schiavone, once again in the ring. And he brings out, like last week, our AEW World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe. And his challenger at Winter is Coming, the man from the Bronx, New York, Eddie Kingston. So I was like, oh, we're going to get a fight, right? No, not necessarily. So Joe tells Tony Baloney to get out the ring. Joe, do you ever respect your elders? I'm just saying. Respect Tony Baloney Schiavone, or Schiavone, for you people that love Jericho. So he tells Schiavone to get out, insults the crowd, get the heel heat, and says, I'm not looking nice out here because it's Indianapolis. Oh boy. That'll get the Colts fans very pissed off, and the Pacers fans too. But anyway, so with that out of the way, he explains that Hook! Stand for the man. Get him in. Get him. Hi, Hook. Get in here with your Doritos. Hook, ladies and gentlemen, with your Doritos. Thank you. Thank you. He has some, like, you know. Well, I can't share one, but I have some, but not really Doritos. I got sour cream and onion potato chips. So, going all over myself now. See? See? I have them now. See? I'll show it. See? Can't see it. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Look! Potato chips. I'm making a mess, I know, but whatever. Whatever, you're watching, so. Alright, so anyway, Hook comes out. Well, Hook doesn't come out. He talks about Hook. And says, Hook is where he is because he has had the right training. And he wanted Hook to see what it was like to be around the low-level stars. And that's why you picked Eddie Kingston. No, because Eddie and Hook come from New York. Even though different parts of New York. Eddie comes from the Bronx. Hook comes from Red Hawk, brother. So anyway, to talk about next week's match at Winner is Coming for the AEW World Title. Joe's like, Eddie, you will fight for everything you have, but just like every other time, you won't cross that finish line. And then Eddie talks about how Hook learned to never quit. And yeah, I yell a lot, but, you know, I only yell because I need to get stuff done. Get off my chest and shit like that. Then he accuses Joe of being the kind of people who get in people's heads and they mess with them. He's like, that's who you used. That's who Joe used to hate, but now, you know, you're one of them and stuff like that. Then he tells Joe, I don't want this Joe. I want the old Joe that held the Ring of Honor title for almost 2 years. I want that Joe. And if I don't get that Joe, I'm going to eat you alive on the 10th, which is, you know, December 10th, basically tomorrow. And, that's it. So, Eddie brought the heat. Great promo. Joe, you know, like, shut up, bitch. Regal! No, he didn't say that. But, you know, great intense promo. We'll see what happens tomorrow night on the program for the AEW World Title at Winner is Coming. I think Joe's going to retain. Joe's going to retain, and then he's going to lose it at World's End to probably Swerve or Hangman and possibly the returning MJF in a fatal four-way match. But then again, as always, card subject to change. So we got that. Alright, then we see the other members of the Ops. We got Hook, Powerhouse, Will Hobbs, and Mr. Speakerspell himself, Katsuyori Shibata! They're ready to fight the Dark Order. And pretty much beat them up. Of course. Easy. Light work for them. We get that. Alright, then we start the second week of the Continental Classic. And we start off with a pretty good match. We have the bastard Pac, who has 3 points, as he, I forgot who he pinned. He pinned Speedball Mike Bailey. And then he takes on the man who, he is the Unified Champion. He was the Continental Champion, the Intercontinental Champion, but he's still the Unified Champion for now. If he doesn't make the finals, he loses that belt. And that is the man from Japan, Okada! Alright, this was a pretty good match. 13 and a half minutes. I think Don Callis is at ringside on commentary. Nobody cared, but pretty much back and forth match. I'm not gonna go through everything. Okada, hits the top rope. Achumi elbow, yeah! And then he says, oh, look at me, fuck you. Flips off the crowd. Goes to the Rainmaker. Gets blocked. Pac grabs a slingshot. Giddy Kasa. Bang. Stealing that. And Okada to shrug that off. Hits the drop kick. Pullback. But the Rainmaker gets cut off again. A German suplex out of the corner. Drops Okada. Ow. And then a bridging version gives the bastard Pac a near fall. But Okada comes right back with a tombstone pile driver. goes to the top. Pac then meets him, hits a superplex. Then he loads up the brutalizer, but somehow Okada reversed that into a inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. Okada gets his first 3 points of the tournament, and pretty much now is tied with. He's tied with Kevin Knight. He's tied with Pac. And he's tied with his good buddy, the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher. And, yeah, we got that. Alright, decent match. 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we got the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe. And as always with Mark, we pay homage to the great man up there. What a great promo from, was pretty much from last year. We all remember that, not last year, but we all remember that promo. You, Jay Briscoe, reach for the sky, boy. Yeah, remember that promo pretty much from this time a couple years ago. Where he like, it's gonna be crazy as shit. We're gonna go buck wild on that bitch. What? Buck wild on that bitch. Pretty much. We miss Jay. I think we all miss Jay Briscoe. Should have never, been taken from us. Like Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. So many others, like Ozzy and Hogan. It is what. Anyway, Mark is ready to face the dancing fool, Danny Garcia, for the TNT title. Doesn't think as much of Garcia this time around, but he knows that he has he has talent. Alright, so I don't know when that match is going to be, but we got that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a video from earlier in the day with Rick O'Shit, the AEW National Champion, along with the Gates of Agony, Bishop Quan! I know that Quan! And Toa Leona. And Ricochet promises to beat Dalton Castle at Final Battle, which he did, and retained. And he'll even have another title defense on Collision, which I'll get to in a minute. So we got that. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then, another segment with Mark Briscoe. He's ready for Orange Cassidy, the winner of Orange Cassidy and Roddy in the Continental Classic. But Roddy insists he is not in the conglomeration and promises to break Orange Cassidy's back because he's the messiah of the backbreaker. We'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, then we get an injury update on hi guys, it's me, Darby. I just want you to know, even if I went to the hospital, I did it for you guys. I'm out of the tournament, but I'm gonna keep fighting for you guys because I love you guys so much. I weigh 150 pounds. I live in my car in Seattle. I'm so fucking emo, guys. Anyway, Darby's injured, can't travel, let alone wrestle. And he got replaced by Jungle Man Jack Perry. So Jack Perry's got a big, huge advantage. Because he doesn't have any matches. And, there's 5 matches left, so he's going to have to wrestle at least 3 times this week. In the next coming weeks, so we got that. I don't think he's going to win, but probably put a hurting on the standings, but we'll get that. Moving on. Alright, match number 2 in the Continental Classic Gold League. We have Kyle Fletcher taking on Kevin Knight. And the winner of this will take sole possession of first place. This was a pretty good match between these guys. 13-minute match, that too. And we're going to come back where Kevin Knight hits a great big drop kick for a near fall. Beautiful. Mwah. And then Kyle Fletcher sends him into the ropes. But Kevin Knight scores with another springboard clothesline for a near fall. A running DDT plants the Proto Star on the apron. Kevin Knight gets crotched on top. Balls! And then, Kevin Knight's able to tie up Kyle Fletcher in the tree of whoa! Hits the coast to coast. Then goes for the UFO splash. That got raised knees. And then Kyle Fletcher with a sit-up powerbomb for a near fall. And then he cuts off Kevin Knight with a beautiful super kick. And then he thinks he's Sami Zayn. He does the hell of a kick into the brain buster, and he gets the pin. 1, 2, 3 to take 3 points, and he is the leader at 6 points in the Gold League with 3 matches remaining for him. Well, pretty much for everybody, they have 3. They have 3 points. Well, with Darby out, Jack Perry has 5 matches left, so he's gonna probably have 2 this week, and then everybody else will have 2 matches. So he has a match advantage. So we got that. All right. So right now, as it stands, Kyle Fletcher at 6, Kevin Knight at 3, Okada at 3. Pac at 3, all have 3 matches remaining. Mike Bailey now Mike Bailey with 0 points, 4 matches remaining. He has 1 coming up. And then Jack Perry with 0 points, but 5 matches remaining. So, like I said, he's got the advantage. Because he's fresh. So fresh is so clean. Got that. Alright, so after the match, Don Callis gets to the ring for a little chitty chat. And then Josh Alexander and Hichiro, they're carrying bags of money since they won, the Bucks, and, pretty much the Don Callis family won that, $1 million match as they beat Kenny and, I forget, well, it was Kenny and I think, I forget who Kenny was teaming with. But anyway, moving on. So then we go to break for some odd reason. We come back. Don Callis calls out the Young Bucks. Nicholas and Matthew Jackson for call them out for doing the unforgivable thing by signing with Kenny by God Omega. Bang! So Don Callis tells the Bucks to get their money. So they come out. They get beat down. That reminds me of that song. Don't come up to get beat down! I forget who sang that, but it's a great fucking song. But I digress. So they get beat down, and then Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, they come out, but then more members of the Don Callis family came out. They beat him up, and then finally Kenny by God Omega. He comes out for the actual save, and then the Don Callis family escapes with the money. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. And seems like Kenny and the Bucks are back together as the Elite. I mean, they had a episode of BTE this week, pretty much yesterday. Kenny not doing the bit. Come on, Kenny! Get with it, Kenny! But it was still a funny episode. So, if you haven't seen it, go to the Young Bucks YouTube page. Or go to BTE on YouTube. It's amazing. Good stuff. That's that. Alright, after that, we get a video from the Babes of Wrath. That's Holly, Cameron, and the resident fun girl, Willow Nightingale. Boom, bam! Alright, they're gonna be, they're ready to meet the winner of Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, or Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir in the finals of the Women's Tag Team Tournament. Speaking of the Women's Tag Team Tournament, we get to the semifinal match. Holiday Death Match. We had Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir taking on Timeless Tony Storm, darling bosom, and my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa. Alright, this was barbaric. We had Marina was busted wide open. They went through tables. They used candlesticks. Even a candlestick with barbed wire on it. Ooh. Kind of a little dicey for Mina and Tony as Marina locked in Mother's Milk. I think on Tony, and Mina knocked Marina Shafir outside. setting up a big flippy doo. And a top rope sling blade onto the chair. Ow. Gives Mina a near fall. Megan drives Tony into the cover to break that up. At one point in the match, Megan had a freaking gift, like all wrapped up as a golden chair and everything. Started using it on Tony. That was crazy. But anyway, Megan spears Mina hard into a table in the corner. But Tony hits Storm Zero, which sends Mega Man's head into Marina Shafir's ribs. Ow. And then Santa Claus comes out, but it's not Santa Claus, it's Luther, who has a nice little present for Marina Shafir, and it's a middle finger. So he gets all mad and everything. And then, out of nowhere, Tony gets a shoe, I don't know where that came from, and then just like, bam, right in the Marina Shafir's head, her bloody head, knocked her out, and Tony goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3, so they get the win. So it's going to be Mina and Tony taking on Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale in the finals of the Women's Tag Team Title Tournament, which is happening tomorrow. So we'll see who's going to become the inaugural Tag Team Champions of the world. And I have a good feeling that it's going to be Mina and Toni Storm. So we'll see what happens with that. 11-minute match, not that bad for a hardcore match. And that's that. Sorry, I got my glasses down. Alright, after that, we get the Triangle of Madness. That's Thekla, Sky Blue, and my girl, Julia Hart. They're sick and tired of Chris Cakelander, the AEW Women's Champ, and Daphne from Scooby-Doo, Jamie Hayter, who wants a tag team match. Actually, Chris Cakelander wants a tag team match, but Jamie Hayter wants to talk about the women's title afterwards. So, like, Jamie Hayter is like, we'll tag, but I want a title match after. So, Cakelander's like, alright, we'll see what we can do. And that's that. Let me move on. Alright, then we see the Dark Order walking in the back. Johnny Hungy, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and the man that's not really evil, Evil Uno. They're excited about being in action, because they're pretty much on Ring of Honor, sucking ass. But then they run into the Hangman, Adam Page, who's gonna do some cowboy shit. But they basically tell Adam, don't ruin this moment for us. So Adam Page's like, alright, I won't, but I'll be there as soon as the match is over. So it's gonna be really quick, because I'm facing the Ops. So, we got that. Alright, after that, we get to then 13-time 13-belt Mercedes Moné. She doesn't want to hear about Full Gear, because she lost. Brags about her various successes, and she's ready to beat Red Velvet again to keep the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship, which she did not. She lost that belt, so now she's 12 belts, Moné, and she is like psycho right now. She's all crying and everything, and then on Collision, I'll mention Collision, she beat Layla Gray for the TBS title. She retained the TBS title against Layla Gray. Not that I gave two shits. But she's just like, she's lost it. And she's gonna lose a lot more, because those 12 belts will start going, bye-bye. You go bye-bye. Pretty much. And that's that. Alright, then we gotta look at FTR getting challenged by the Bang Bang Gang. That's Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. And then we get Stokely Hathaway, still ain't getting no hoes for Christmas. He finds it pathetic that the Bang Bang Gang want the AEW tag titles for their injured friends, meaning Colton Gunn and Jay White. So FTR mocks every member of the Bang Bang Gang, I guess even Ace Austin, dares the gang to touch their titles again. And as always, when somebody tells you to do something, you automatically don't do it. Absolutely. But when somebody tells you not to do something, you do it anyway. Final Fantasy history right there. Don't go after it! Oh, too late. Too late. We're gonna go 4 discs and get to the end and fight Sephiroth. Yay! We're gonna save the world! We're 16-year-old kids saving the world! Gonna use Onimusha, you know. Whatever. Minus that. Alright, then we get to the Ops versus the Dark Order non-title match. 6 minutes of garbage. And the Ops win after Will Hobbs hits the world's strongest slam on Evil Uno. Then the Spine Buster. Then they get the win. Didn't care. After the match, the Hangman Adam Page comes in and does some cowboy shit. But then security cut off the buckshot lariat to Hobbs. And then I think he beat the fuck out of them. But by the time he finished, the Ops were gone. So we get that. Moving on. Alright, then Don Callis thinks the family will win the Continental Classic. Doubtful. Well, if Takeshi will probably win it. So he's in the family anyway. So yeah, he has a point. So he tries to explain the unified title, but he's not putting the other legs of the title up because it would be stupid. Okay. I do not get this tournament at all. It's like the winner gets the Continental title, even though Okada has the unified title. I just don't get why they just didn't scrap the Continental title and scrap the international title. I don't get it. Just have one belt, Tony Khan. One fucking belt. But you're too stupid. I'm gonna steal up my cocaine. Hold on. Please watch my show tonight. It's gonna be great. I will never blink. CBS tonight at 8. We got that. Alright, after that, the Hangman calls out the Ops for next week. Says, I will not be coming alone. You know what that means? Swerve. So we get that. Alright, then we go to the Blue League of the Continental Classic. We got John Moxley taking on his good buddy, Claudio Castagnoli de Suisse. With Marina Shafir at ringside. We see Marina goes for a test of strength. And Claudio wins that. Okay. So then we get to the match. Pretty good match. Felt like Dean Ambrose and Cesaro back in WWE time. 15-minute match. We're getting to the end. Moxley hits one hell of a clothesline. Like a rebound clothesline. And a stomp. No, he's not the Masked Man. That's Austin Theory. And Claudio kicked out of 2. Claudio powers Mox out to the floor. Hits a running double stomp as Mox is sitting in a chair. Throws him back in. A powerbomb gives Claudio a near fall. But Mox grabs a paradigm shift. But couldn't get the cover. Then they pull themselves up. Mox is like, come on! Because he's all busted wide open. I don't know how. It won't be a Mox match without some blood. So he's like, come on! So then Claudio's like, alright, Tiger! Uppercut! Hits that. 1, 2, 3, wins clean. I didn't think that was going to happen at all. I thought it was going to go to a draw. Was that like 5 minutes, like 4.5 minutes left? I think it's a 20-minute time limit. Knowing AEW, how stupid they are sometimes, they would go to a draw and both men get 1 point. But Claudio picks up 3 points, and he is now tied for the lead. Actually, take that back. He takes the lead with 6 points. Takeshi at 3. Moxley stays at 3, and then Roddy, Masca Dorada, and Orange Cassidy, they have 0 points, but they have a match in hand. So it's that. But Claudio gets the win over his good buddy Mox. Is that foreshadowing? We'll see. A good match, though. Great match. And that ends Dynamite. So Dynamite was pretty damn good, and I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. And that's that. Alright, we're going to get to Collision in just a second. But first, we take a sip. Take 2 sips because you get the voice back. And that's that. Alright, let me fire up the Rich Man's Dish. Put on Channel 11 as we're about 14 minutes away from NXT. And we got that. Alright, so we get to Collision, which was live this past Saturday, from the Greater Columbus Convention Center, where Ring of Honor Final Battle was, in Columbus, which is for losers. And this time on Collision, we had Tony Baloney Schiavone, the man who, came this close to beating Lee Moriarty in that 30-minute Iron Man match, which was epic. And that's Nigel McGuinness, me love. And Ring of Honor's own Ian Rickaboring, which was the Pasta. Caprice Coleman, because he's way better at doing commentary. Just saying. Alright, so we had that. Ricochet's going to defend the national title. Get some schmuck. But we get that. Alright, so we start off Collision with another match in the Blue League of the Continental Classic. Orange Cassidy freshly squeezed orange juice. Puts his hands down his pants, and I bet he feels nuts. Yes, I'm Cisco, yes, I'm Ebert, and you're getting 2 thumbs up. Okay. So he takes on Roddy! This was a, pretty good match. Back and forth they went, getting to the end. Go to break. And Cassidy hits a spinning DDT. Then he makes what counts as a fired-up comeback, I guess. Sends Roddy to the outside. Lands him into the turnbuckles a few times. Then a high crossbody gets countered into a power slam. Gives Roddy a near fall. Orange Cassidy comes back with a slingshot tornado DDT. Then another one for a near fall. Roddy gives him a backbreaker, because he was working on the back like most of the match. Orange Cassidy's fruit roll-up gets a near fall. Then he manages to hit the Stun Dog Millionaire. Excuse me. And then Roddy tries another backbreaker. But somehow Orange Cassidy slipped out. Inside Cradle. 1, 2, 3 in under 13.5 minutes. Orange Cassidy gets his first points of the tournament. And Roddy, well, he's got hard work because he got 3 matches left, and he's pretty much he's 2 wins behind. So right now, Claudio has 6, Takeshita and Orange Cassidy have 3, along with Moxley and Moscow Dorada and Roddy are bringing up the rear, and that's pretty much it. But we move on. Alright, afterwards, Roddy gets mad, and he just, storms off. I don't want to hear it. He's pissed. I would be, too. And we move on. Alright, after that, we find out that Darby is out of the tournament due to injuries that he got in the match with Kevin Knight. I don't know how he got injured. I think he's allergic to one-on-one wrestling, but anyway. And then we found out that Jungle Man Jack Perry is taking his spot. So then we hear from Darby. Talks about how the Death Brothers are winning the war because they're out here doing push-ups. Talks about wrestling Kevin Knight. Couldn't feel his legs. I can't feel my legs! Don't lay them down! Felt like Lieutenant Dan, right? Lieutenant Dan, you have no legs. I know, Forrest. You call this a storm? So we get that. Where did my notes go? My notes just disappeared. They disappeared like a magic trick. The elephant disappeared. He just fucking disappeared. No, it's just because my computer is ancient. We're going to get right back in just a second. Anyway. How's our friends doing tonight? Doing good? Good. Hope everybody's having a good night. and we're about to watch NXT in about 10 minutes. So here we go. Now I have to reload my notes. I hate doing that, but we move on with that. Now, anyway, before we finish up the collision results, Masha Slamovich is reportedly off the TNA roster. She's done with TNA. I wonder where she's going to go next. Did I just say, I kind of give you a reference, maybe? Maybe she goes to NXT. I think she's going to AEW. Or back on the indie circuit, you know, stay with JCW, Jersey Championship Wrestling, and maybe stay with GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. And, that's pretty much it. A lot of people are kind of hating on TNA going to AMC, one of them being Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is never a happy camper. So we have that, and now. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Get back to your regularly scheduled program and your collision review of part of the video. So Orange Cassidy gets a couple points, gets 3 points. Yeah, Claudio got 6 points, the Catcher with 3, Cassidy with 3, and everybody else, 0. Moxley with 3, too. Alright, so Darby talks about how the Death Riders are winning the war because they're out here doing push-ups. He was wrestling Kevin Knight, couldn't feel his legs. It was the first time he was ever scared. And while he's never seen eye to eye with Jack Perry, he tells Jack to go win the whole thing. But he's not so sure about his own future. So all the time that you were doing all these spots, all these daredevil-like things like your Jeff Hardy dude, you never got hurt. You never was scared because, you know, you got lit on fire at Blood and Guts. You know, you fall from the top of the Titantron or whatever, you know. You go through glass, you almost got drowned and everything. And now you're scared. Word to the wise, Darby, don't do death matches. You won't hurt yourself too much. Or you're just allergic to doing one-on-one matches. I don't know. But, I hope Darby gets better, but, you know. That's that. Alright, FTR with Stokely Hathaway come out for a little chitty chat. And Stoke is all happy with you know, their win. Get the tag team belts over Brodito. But he has to address what happened on Dynamite. Fans boo him out of the building over and over and over again. But Stokely makes it clear that FTR wants the Bang Bang Gang right here, right now. And then Cash, got a clock! Wheeler says that the Bang Bang Gang will always be Billy's boy and Mr. Tony Storm. Ooh. So then Dax the Ex-Horror brags about FTR's all-time success. They're willing to let Juice touch the belt because he's a man of his word. Touch the belt. He touch his dick. Alright, so the Bang Bang Gang come out. Austin Gunn says, I'm the son of a Hall of Famer. He's the son of a plumber man. Anyway. Juice is the son of a carpenter. And then Cash Wheeler is the son of his first cousin. Because you know all those people in the South love to fuck their cousins. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Dax is just a son of a bitch. Well, at least you were honest. And then Austin brings up beating FTR recently. Now they want a title shot. And apparently the match is officially set for the Wales show next week. I think that's on next Saturday. I believe it's going to be... I don't know when that show is. But it's next week, really. with the Bang Bang Gang promising to touch the belts. Which means you won't get it. You just touch it and, we're not going to win. That's that. Alright, so decent promo, and that's that. Alright, then the Death Riders are all ready to destroy Mark Briscoe and take the TNT title, meaning Garcia. We'll see what happens with that. And speaking of the Death Riders, we'll go to our next match. We have the Swiss Claudio Castagnoli at 6 points, taking on Mascara Dorada with 0 points. This was another good match, banger if you will. And Mascara Dorada gets the win and his first 3 points of the tournament. As get near the end, Claudio's Twist the World cuts Dorada off as we're halfway through the time limit, so we got 10 minutes left. Then a spinning head scissors brings Claudio down, comes right back, tries a superplex, that got broken up, and then Mascara Dorada's shooting star press connects 1, 2, 3. He gets the win, and like I said, the first 3 points of the tournament for him. So, as of right now, Claudio has 6, everybody else has 3, except for Roddy, but Takeshita's waiting in the wings. He has 4 matches remaining, everybody else has 3. Claudio has 2 matches remaining, because he got an extra match. So, he had 1 on Dynamite, and then he had 1, he had 1 with Mox, then he had 1 with, just had 1 with Mascara Dorada, so he has to face, I think he has to face Roddy, and I think he has Roddy and Takeshita left. I'm pretty sure he has Roddy and Takeshita left in the tournament. We'll see what happens with that. So, right now it's anybody's race in, both leagues, and that's that. Alright, then from earlier today, we got the Timeless Love Bombs, Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm, and the Babes of Wrath. They sit down and drink some champagne. Toni talked about how she and Mina love each other no matter what. And Tony's like, I've beaten you, and I've beaten you before. So, Hode says the Babes have wrath, but Mina says, we are here for the titles. Let's toast. A toast to the new women's tag team champions. Whoever they may be. I think it's going to be Mina and Toni. Unless Megan and Marina fuck it up. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow night on the program. And that's that. Alright, then it's dancing time. It's time for Swerve. Well, he doesn't do that dance anymore. Well, Nana doesn't do. He kind of does it, but it's now a remix. So, gotta get a new dance there, Nana. Come on. Alright, puts on my good buddy. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got my foot halfway in the door in the world of professional wrestling. So, anyway, so he talks about how he's so fresh and so clean. He's back from 3 months out due to injury with his, I believe, his leg. Talks about when he was champion, he made it clear that he was going to bring everything, and that brings him to Samoa Joe. He's like, I beat you the last time we fought. I think it was a Dynasty, like last April. And now I gotta go through a bunch of people to get to the Ops. It doesn't matter, it doesn't really matter, because Joe, you will fall. And that's it. Then he talks about Hangman Adam Page. Swerve's willing to have his back for one night only at Winter is Coming against the Ops. And then Josh Alexander, of all people. I'm like, what? Where are you coming from? Why are you here? And he comes out and says, this is Don Callis' house. Sure it is. He's like, Swerve, why aren't you looking for revenge on the people that actually hurt you? And Josh thinks he should get the title shot. Get the title shot. So a match is set for Winter is Coming. So I guess Swerve versus Josh Alexander for an AEW title shot. And then Katsuyori Shibata sneaks in with a chop block on Swerve's recently repaired knee. So Swerve might go into his match with with Josh Alexander at about 80%. And that's it. Alright, NXT has just started with a recap of Deadline. We got that. Alright, then we hear once again from Mercedes Moné, 12 belts Moné. She doesn't want to talk about her loss to Red Velvet, losing the Ring of Honor Women's TV title. And now it's time for revenge. And then we go right into her match with Layla Gray for the TBS title. And like I said, she retained the title with the Moneymaker. The Statement Maker in under 6 minutes. And then afterwards, she keeps the hold on until Christopher Daniels comes in. But, and during the match, Mercedes was doing the whole Curryman thing. He's hot, he's spicy, he tastes great, it's Curryman! So then, Daniels comes in, tries to stop Mercedes and get her off of Layla Gray, but he got kicked in the nuts. For your trouble. Sucks to be you, Christopher Daniels. And that's that. Alright, Eddie Kingston talks about how he's been wrestling for 25 years, doesn't like Samoa Joe taking wrestlers down the wrong path. And that starts with the world title. And Eddie wants this to change for the greater good. He's not doing it for the title, but to show people how to do it the right way, as AEW was supposed to be. Doing things the right way. But we're doing it the hard way. The easy way. And that's pretty much it. And after that, the Triangle of Madness have jumped a whole bunch of women and say, we're going to be in Cardiff, Wales next week. Okay. We get that. Alright, then we go to the national title. Ricochet defends after beating Dalton Castle. This time, he faces a member of the Bang Bang Gang, former member of the Bullet Club, to shoot me for the love of God. And that's Ace Austin. This was a pretty good match for two people I don't even think they ever fought before. For 10 minutes, Ricochet loads up the spinning gun and missed. Ace Austin grabs a small package for a near fall. Excuse me. Then a superplex into a running stomp. Nice. Gives Ace Austin a near fall, but he almost runs into the referee because he's fast and crazy. But Ricochet hits a quick clothesline into Vertigo. And the place go Vertigo. Gotta love you two. I love you too. Not all of you, but anyway. So Ricochet gets the win and retain the national title in 10 minutes. And then afterwards, FTR comes down to beat up Austin Gunn. And then Juice Robinson, he comes out, makes the save, and then the Bang Bang Gang hold up the tag team titles, so they actually touch them. And FTR demands them that they're not gonna do it again. Here's my cuz. So we've seen a recap. What happened, Javon winning the men's Iron Survivor match, and then you beat up by my cousin Tony D. Kendall Gray won the women's Iron Survivor match. He will face Casey Jane. And then we had the Big Man, Oba, winning back the NXT title. We also had Ethan Page defeat Mr. Iguana to retain the Canadian national title. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so we are live from the Capitol Wrestling Center. And we're going to start with the Big Man. Hoo! Oba! Hoo! The Big Man from Wakanda. Oh, that silhouette is just amazing. The Destroyer. Reminds me of that, Creeping Death. The Destroyer! Okay. Let's move on. Alright, then we get to Jon Moxley in the Blue League, taking on Takeshita. Non-title match, obviously, because not for Takeshita's title. The IWGP title. This was pretty good, and almost went to the official time limit. Went 17:48. Get to the end. A Blue Thunderbomb sends Moxley through the announcer's table. He has to dive in at 9.99999999999 Batman 5 to just beat the count. But he dives right into a frog splash, not like an Eddie Guerrero frog splash. But it was effective. Because Eddie hits it, perfectly. Right, Eddie? Oh, I hit the frog splash every time, I say. Every time. Because I'm Eddie Guerrero, I say, pero. Okay. Calm down. So, blah, 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 blah. Takeshi gets a near fall. Moxley's back with a Giddy Kata! Bang! And then a double middle finger to Takeshi sets up the paradigm shift. But Takeshi gets a foot on the rope, on the pin. Moxley then charges into a knee to face for a near fall. And then another running knee to face. And Moxley's knocked for a loop. And then Takeshi hits Raging Fire! 1, 2, 3. Takeshi gets the win. 3 big points. Great match between those guys. And that ends Collision. So the final standings in the Blue League, Takeshi and Claudio at 6 points. But Claudio has 2 matches left. And everybody else in the Blue League, minus Moxley, has 3 matches remaining. So Moxley has 3 points, but 2 matches remaining. Orange Cassidy with 3, Mascarado with 3, Moxley with 3, Roddy with 0, but he has 3 matches remaining. So Roddy, if he plays his cards right, can really fuck up the standings. But we have to see what happens with that. But I think, I'm thinking Takeshi will win the Blue League. I think Claudio or Orange Cassidy will be the runner-up. And I think they might do what they did last year, is that the winner of the Blue League will face the winner of the Gold League. And I think the runners-up will fight for the number 1 contendership. So it's probably most likely going to be Takeshi facing Okada in the finals at World's End. And Takeshi's going to wipe the floor with Okada, win the Unified title, really pretty much the Unified and Continental Classic title. Damn, Oba's going nuts. Talk your shit, Oba. My cousin gonna come out? I don't know. Oh, here comes wait, who's this? Is this Bouncy? Who is this? Oh, it's Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks looking for his rematch, I guess. That's that. Alright, so that is Collision. So Collision was alright, nothing great. 6.25 out of 10 stars. And Dynamite, 7.25 out of 10 stars. So Dynamite was the better show of the week. And we'll see what happens this week at Winter is Coming. And then I think we have a tape show on Saturday with, no, I think we have a live show on this Saturday because it's Winter is Coming Night 2. And then next week, December 17th and December the 20th, will be taped from Wales. And then after that, we got the Christmas Eve show and the Christmas show from the Hammerstein Ballroom. And then that's it. That's it for the tape shows. And then we're back live on Dynamite pretty much 3 weeks from tomorrow for New Year's Smash Night 1 and Collision 2026 on January the 3rd. So we got that. So good things coming for AEW as we go to World's End. So we'll see what happens tomorrow in week number 3 in the Continental Classic. Good matches to come. Jack Perry's got his matches coming up. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright guys, I am out of here. We're going to go watch the rest of NXT. I will be back later with your Monday Night Raw review over on my Kill Demons channel. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.